Yo, what's happening, people? And welcome back to the Tiki Taka podcast, where you're going to hear hot takes, unbiased opinions, and hopefully have a couple laughs along the way. And there is some big news this week.
Yes.
Everybody's been talking about it. Trent Alexander-Arnold seems to be going to Real Madrid. He seems to be leaving Liverpool. We're going to discuss our thoughts on that. Is he a Judas, as some people are calling him? Is he a snake? Is he just going there to link up with Bellingham and do nice things with Bellingham and enjoy Madrid? But we'll get into all of that. Before we do, please subscribe to the channel. Helps us a lot. We're still here putting the content out. Like the video, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. But here we go. 1 out of 3.
Yeah.
From Liverpool. Salah and Van Dijk are still there for now. But Trent, the news is Ornstein's come out, Fabrizio's come out. They're not saying it's confirmed, but the fact that both of them tweeted yesterday makes me think that obviously
something happening.
Yeah. There's and we've said that we know, like we've spoken about this a lot off air, but we know the Flo Perez tap up is almost faultless.
It's not even an Mbappe to Madrid situation where it was like every 2 weeks we would get the opposite message. Fabrizio come out and say Mbappe's all done, all agreed, Madrid, and then 2 weeks later it's all PSG. I've had another conversation with Mbappe, and it's looking like he's interested in staying for another year, and it was every 2 weeks different. With Trent, it feels like it's only been going one way. It's only been going like he's getting closer. He's happy he's found this place in Madrid. Jude's helping him with this and all of that. I find this fascinating, I'm not going to lie. And obviously, maybe it is more fascinating because Liverpool are going to win the league. But I find it truly fascinating, the perception of players, the perception of like, what have you done for the club? The perception of like what homegrown talent should do and shouldn't do. And a lot of moving goalposts. Like, for example, everyone keeps saying on group chats, like, oh, it's like a business decision. It's poor business from Liverpool or from Trent to not sign for a new contract and get them 60, 70 million or whatever is a decent or fair enough asking price for his talent. Like, how is he doing that to his club and it's poor business from Trent. And I'm like, I see it the other way around. I think it's poor business from Liverpool. How have you let this get to this type of situation where players can actually leave in 9 games time or 7 games time, wherever it is, for nothing? For nothing. I don't know if I can necessarily blame the player. And Liverpool fans will say we've offered him however many contracts and we've put this and this and that on the table. It's obviously not been good enough.
Yeah. I mean, the reaction to the news from Liverpool fans has been visceral. Trent's getting a lot of hate.
Yeah.
A lot of rap pictures.
I was going to say, the memes.
Don't let him on the bus.
He's going to get booed, you know?
I think he will. Unless, obviously, sometimes you need to
take a step away from social
media fans and stuff and see what happens at Anfield. But it does seem to be a common consensus that, and Jamie Carragher even called this. He was like, the longer this goes on, it'll be interesting to see the treatment that Trent gets from Liverpool fans. Luckily for Trent, he's injured right now, so he might not have to play. But
imagine he doesn't play again.
Yeah. And you know what's funny is that even if, like, and obviously it looks like it's done and whatever, but even if there was any chance that Trent was going to stay, the way he's seen, we know footballers are online. The way he's seen, like, Trent disabled his comments on the weekend, didn't it? On Instagram or whatever. The way Liverpool fans have been talking about him and treating him, it's almost like, well, he's definitely not going to stay now, even if there was any chance of him deciding.
And I was speaking to Liverpool fans, and they're like, I don't know if some of them can walk back their statements, man. I thought it was crazy seeing Liverpool fans drop 10, 12-minute comps on Trent's poor one-on-one defending. Liverpool fans
propping up Reece James.
It would be like, it'd be like Arsenal fans getting on to Ben White or Saka or someone who's come. Right, Ben White is not come through the academy, but like Saka or Aoife or whoever, with a 10-minute comps of Saka missed chances.
10
10-minute comps of of Ethan poor touches and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and I hear it, as I say. You know, it's funny because I've been seeing so much stuff online about Arsenal fans aren't allowed to have opinions on this conversation. Arsenal fans are too obsessed with Liverpool. Arsenal fan this, Arsenal fan that. Yeah, I don't know if there's many more clubs of, you know, fans of clubs who are more qualified to speak on losing players for free than Arsenal fans.
Yeah.
You know, we know what this is like. We know what this is like to lose players that you love or people that you really admire in your club for free transfers, or have them run down their contracts and sort of we don't know what's going to happen type situations.
Yeah.
I think, man, my personal opinion on the situation is that I think Trent is a Liverpool legend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm not the biggest Trent guy on record. I'm not like his biggest fan. I think he's a good player. I think he's a good right back, one of the best in the league. All of that kind of stuff I can agree to. But, you know, I think certain people have put Trent in conversations of up there. He's the best either we've ever seen, best right back, and all of this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I go that far, but I do think he's a very good right back. And he's done it all, man. How many guys can say they've won everything for their boyhood club at the age of 25 and leave a rat? Leave as like someone that hasn't done anything. He's done more for the club than Gerrard. Full stop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think it's interesting because I get it. Like there is this like fan emotional thing of like, a player I like all of a sudden doesn't want to stay here or play here anymore. But and maybe this is through years of like pain and bad transfers. Like I actually don't hold it too much against the players anymore. When I was younger, as a younger football fan, I would. But now that I'm older and an adult, like I don't sort of hate the decisions that RVP and, you know, some of these other guys have made from Arsenal Football Club. At the time I did. At the time I hated them. It was sort of visceral and all this kind of stuff. But I was 12 and 11. And I was like, I can't believe RVP wants to. But now that I sit back, I'm like, bro, Trent's won it all at his club. You've got Madrid.
RVP's still a snake, though.
No, in terms of if Arsenal fans think RVP is a snake, that's calm. But like,
I understand the decision.
Exactly. My point is,
but he's still a snake.
My point is to the Liverpool fans that are pretending as if they don't understand the decision.
Yeah.
Like, if you're just an upset fan and you're talking shit, that's one thing or another. But if you're pretending, I'm seeing Liverpool fans saying, but we're one of the biggest clubs in the world and we're gonna win the next 3 to 4 Premier Leagues. This is a squad that is really. I'm like, bro, stop.
Yeah.
Stop. This is big bank, take little bank. And let's not pretend. Let's not do any of this. Let's not do any of the biggest club in the world stuff. This is big bank, take little bank.
Yeah. On the but I've said this to you. I said this to you off air like 2 months ago when we had this conversation that Liverpool fans will think
they're the biggest club in the world,
right? Or at least they're on that level with Real Madrid, whatever, right? But I think in terms of, you mentioned there that Liverpool fans saying that Arsenal fans can't get involved and they're obsessed and whatever. It seems to me that there's like, for Liverpool fans, there's so many sort of layers to this Trent thing that they can almost like pitch and get themselves out of a debate with an Arsenal fan. So Arsenal fans will come, they'll talk about Gerrard, and Liverpool fans will come and say, well, Gerrard wasn't in a team that was primed to win the biggest trophies, right? Okay, cool. Arsenal fans will come and talk about Ashley Cole. We saw Ashley Cole leave and whatever. And then, but then they'll say, well, he went to a London rival and that was different. And then we'll talk about potentially Saka leaving. And then there's the argument that, well, Saka hasn't achieved what Trent has achieved at Liverpool.
Yeah.
Right. And there's probably still a feeling of Saka wants to do that before he goes elsewhere. So it seems like Liverpool fans are always just trying to find this like way out of why this whole Trent situation is different to anything else. And I think that if he goes, I've said about the Flo Perez tap up there, but is there really, and we've said this for months, but if Flo Perez comes to Trent and he wants Trent to play for Real Madrid, like, and because there's no transfer fee and whatever, Trent might get like a 30 million
sign-on bonus.
Yeah, or like a 15 million and 15 million on the salary, or whatever it is. Yeah, let's say it's 30 million. Yeah, you're then asking Trent, "Oh, will you go and play for Real Madrid for 30 million?" And I think Trent would go and play for Real Madrid for £30,
bro. and this is my point, is because the Liverpool fan was getting onto me. He was saying, Arsenal fans can't talk about Trent because you were moaning and crying and bitching about Nasri and Sanya and Clichy and Cole and all these guys that you've mentioned. Yeah. And I hated all of those transfers in terms of players leaving, but I fully understood them.
Yeah.
Fully understood them. I understood why all those players left.
But then to
play devil's advocate.
Yeah, this isn't my
but
point.
Just to finish this point,
you know my point of view.
But just to I hated them at the not the players, but I hated the decision at the time and all of the rest, and even Nasri and these guys I still don't kind of like, yeah. But all of those guys were justified in the decision that they made, and that's tough to say as an Arsenal fan. But all of those guys went on to win bigger trophies than what Arsenal won during that period. Yeah. And I feel like I've grown, my estimations, my respect for Trent has grown because it wouldn't have been easy, yeah, for Bakary Sagna or Clichy or Nasri or all these guys to leave Arsenal. And a lot of them aren't even homegrown players. Yeah, all the shit that they got, all the stuff that they got to leave Arsenal.
When the Abu Dhabi money came in at Man City,
it was nasty.
I think it made pretty easy.
Yeah, okay, well, sorry. In the sense of if you're worried about what fans think and all that kind of stuff, yeah. I didn't
I think it made it pretty easy for those guys, bro.
I just didn't think that Trent was gonna be the win at any cost person. Win even if it means Liverpool fans don't like me. And I think it's interesting because this Liverpool friend of mine, he keeps saying Trent's biggest haters are now his biggest supporters. Now that he's decided to leave Liverpool, interesting. ... And I told him, and I was like, bro, Trent's biggest supporters are now his biggest haters.
You replied to that because you knew it was targeted.
100% it was targeted at me. Yeah. But I'll say his biggest supporters are now his biggest haters. As I said, comps from Liverpool fans of the local
It's gone both ways.
Who's won 2 Premier Leagues and he's won a Champions League and FA Cups and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Bro, if Saka had won what Trent's won for us, it would kill me to see Saka leave.
Okay, so this is an interesting conversation. But before we get to actually, let's do it now. So you mentioned Saka there, yeah. So let's say all things equal, yeah. Saka's won Premier League and Champions League at Arsenal, yeah, and Trent's probably on course to go and win his second one. But let's just say Saka's got 1 Premier League, 1 Champions League at Arsenal, yeah. And this Real Madrid machine starts going, Perez, and Saka starts running down the contract, and obviously it's difficult. And Liverpool fans might get annoyed with us because we're not actually in that situation, right? Hopefully, we never are. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
But let's try and put ourselves in that situation. You said you would be hurt. We obviously know that you'd understand the decision, but would there be any sort of visceral reaction or any sort of quote unquote hate, but more disappointment in what Saka's chosen?
It would never be to what we've seen. I can feel a type of way about Saka leaving, about the Madrid train and all this kind of stuff. We feel as if we might go through that with Saliba, for example. Mm-hmm. But just to keep it on Saka, I don't think if Saka had won us a Premier League and a Champions League, I could ever overnight start saying that Garnacho's was always better than him.
Yeah. Bowen.
Yeah, start putting 10-minute, as I say, comps of Saka missed chances and all that kind of stuff. He's still a local lad that has won everything. You've seen him, and it's Liverpool have come through a period of winning nothing.
But then, so, and again, I'm gonna play devil's advocate a bit here in this episode, but I think one of the biggest things for Liverpool fans is that obviously he's going on a free, and we can talk about that in a bit, but they feel as though their team
can win more,
is primed to go and win more. Yeah, you keep, for example, I don't know, let's say they keep Salah and Van Dijk. Trent signs, right? They've just won the Premier League. They lost in the Carabao Cup final. They got knocked out in Champions League, but next season they go and spend money. They can go and rebuild and whatever. This is what Liverpool.
Yeah.
Obviously, my opinion is that there's no place in world football where you can guarantee more trophies than Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Right. So, but Liverpool fans will make this argument that if you're in that situation now with Saka and we've just won the league, and we know from the average age of the squad, and they're all aging together. They're maybe 27, 28.
Yeah.
We could go and win another one. We might go and win another Champions League. Wouldn't there no part of you then a bit like, oh, why is...
Nah, because I think part of the visceral reaction is Liverpool fans not being honest with themselves about the size of their club. Like, Liverpool are a big club. Don't get me wrong, one of the biggest, top 2, top 3 biggest in the country. Yeah. But big clubs don't have their 3 best players on like rundown contracts with 9 games to go. Like, when Arsenal went through that stuff with Sanchez and Ozil,
yeah, we were a banter club.
Like, that let me know where Arsenal were.
Yeah,
I thought at that time, I was younger, I thought Arsenal was one of the biggest clubs in world football. Yeah. But you look around at all the other big clubs, and all their best players are on long-term contracts. All their best players are locked in. Everybody who they want to keep is locked in. Yeah, and like, it might be tough for Liverpool fans, especially coming from Arsenal fans who haven't won a lot for a long time. Yeah, might not be the best people to say that, but part of the visceral reaction, I think, from Liverpool is a little bit of a delusional view of how big their club is. Like, Liverpool are a massive club, don't get me wrong. Global supporters, trophies, Champions Leagues, they've got it, yeah?
But they're not even the biggest club in England.
But they're not the biggest club in England, and they're not the biggest club in the world, obviously. Yeah. And that's my point is, like, I could be angry at Saka and all this kind of stuff, but I'm comfortable now. Now I know for for sure, Arsenal just aren't the biggest club. Unless we do what City have done. If it's like a City thing where you've won 4 in a row and it looks like you can win 5 or 6, and now this player who's integral is leaving, maybe I can convince myself that we're just as good as Madrid, and why the hell would you do this? And this is a snake move. It's just money, all this kind of stuff, yeah. But I think it's so obvious why Trent is going to go to Madrid and why Trent needs to go to Madrid. He's still not starting games for England. I mean, he's injured, so we don't know, but he's still not starting games for England. He's still sitting bench, and he's still getting cussed out for not defending. And I've always said that. I don't think Trent's the best defender, but I've always actually said that Trent's won Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues and defended in the biggest matches in the world. Yeah. And kept clean sheets.
I don't know how loudly you've said that.
I'm not saying it loudly because I still have my Trent thing. But I've always said that, like,
he's a Champions League winning right back. He's a Premier League winning right back. All of that.
He's gone against some of the best wingers in the world and kept clean sheets and or won the game and stuff. I was saying it the other day to my brother my brother was cussing Trent out versus City. Yeah, he was like, Trent, look how Doku's ripping up Trent. And Doku was ripping up Trent, but it's 0-0. Yeah. You know, Liverpool won 2-0. So it's like he's held his own and stuff. I just think that Trent's disrespect in this country, and I'm part of the problem. Don't get me wrong. But I think it makes sense why he has to leave.
This is nasty work.
It's nasty for me, but I think it makes sense why he has to leave. Like,
I've been the one making that point for Trent is England's best right back. England have to find a way to have Trent in the team.
But it comes back to my point of why I respect Trent if he goes. If Trent truly believes that he is a Ballon d'Or caliber right back or the best right back in the world and goes to Madrid and shows it, there's nothing I can say. There's nothing whoever else can say. I always respect guys. I think it's better to have like 3 league trophies and like 2 in one league, 1 in another league, than maybe 4 league trophies all in one league. Like, I think in football, there's a lot to be said about a guy's game that is adaptable in different leagues and different playing styles and stuff. Even Messi,
and if you're a right back that wants to win the Ballon d'Or,
you need to,
you're only going to do that at Real Madrid. No, you're not going to win the Ballon d'Or playing right back for almost any other club, and even then, it's a stretch.
And I think just to finish off my point, man, I think, like, I mentioned the Sanchez and Ozil situation and how that taught me sort of where Arsenal lie in the pedigree of football beyond just trophies and stuff. How players see the club who are actually at the club. But this is the biggest. Well, not the biggest, because if Salah goes, that would be the biggest. But like, this is a big, eye-opening event for Liverpool fans, where a local lad who's come through the academy and who's won it all and knows what it's like to win trophies, the biggest trophies for his boyhood club, still thinks that there's a better opportunity for him at Real Madrid.
Whilst Liverpool are at the
still, he's playing for the club. He's in there every day. He sees what it's like. He knows how massive it is. He's on the buses and the trains and the flights, and he knows and he sees the fans.
It's not eye-opening for them because they're just calling him a rat. A snake.
It should be eye-opening. It's not eye-opening for them, but it should be eye-opening for them. If one of your better players who has it all at his feet right now still thinks that this is a better or bigger opportunity from him than what he currently has ahead of him for the next couple of years, that's where you are in the social hierarchy of football, man.
But I think there's also a level of, like, it doesn't really matter how good your team is. like even if it's Man United, Bayern Munich, whoever, yeah. And it doesn't really matter how well Real Madrid are doing. Like there's just the intangibles of being a Galactico and Los Blancos.
And I always speak about the intangibles,
and yeah,
I always.
But on the Saka point, because I haven't really understood why Trent is getting so much hate from Liverpool fans. Because like you say, Trent, he's given everything.
25 won it all. Who's done that? I couldn't even name you another player who's done that.
Now, but the two things where, if it was Saka and I had that emotional investment in it, I wouldn't show any form of hate towards Saka if he was doing what Trent was doing. So it wouldn't be anything like what the Liverpool fans are doing. There wouldn't be like pictures of him as a rat. And none of that.
You're painting over his mural or
none of that. But I would be a bit disappointed.
Look, that's understandable.
But when I asked you if you'd be disappointed, you'd be like, no, not really. I would be disappointed. Not hate, again, because like I say, if he's done that, if he's won Premier League, if he's won Champions League, you've done amazing stuff for this football club. But I would be disappointed that you don't think, as an Arsenal fan, as a local lad, that like we can really go and like maybe create a dynasty here. And like, that's not to say, again, I understand it's Real Madrid. Same things I've said, intangibles, Galacticos, nothing's more guaranteed to go and win. But there would just be a little bit, as a fan, a disappointment of like, you're meant to be us on the pitch.
So I agree with that in the sense of there has to be an acceptable level of disappointment. There's players who aren't even like legends and club heroes and have won X, Y, and Z who leave, and fans are disappointed that a player is leaving. You can just like certain players and not want them to leave. But the Saka thing for me, why I say like in general, I don't think I could be disappointed, is because Arsenal haven't won a Champions League ever and haven't won a Premier League for 20 years. So if that happens and Saka's a part of that, thank you. You'll always be a legend to me.
I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing.
Always. So I hear
but there would be, like I said, with the age thing, everybody's kind of peaking together. There could
it would be
to go and win two back to back, maybe make it two.
Yeah, sure. Right? Legitimately, it's a possibility.
That would only be the disappointment. But if he decides he wants to go to Real Madrid,
and that's the thing.
Madrid.
I think that.
But then the other thing is that I would really want to get like some money for Saka. I don't want Saka to go.
But that's my point. Is I agree that.
And Liverpool fans seem to be almost most vexed
for the free thing.
About
I don't get that though.
Well, he's going on a free, but I think they're most vexed about the fact that they have this perception, and I don't know too much about it, but they have this perception that Trent's kind of run down his contract.
Yeah, deliberately.
Yeah.
Like I sent you that thing today.
Like this saga's been going on for like they're comparing it to the Mbappe thing. Yeah, in terms of like the Mbappe thing was going on for 2 years. Like he was meant to go.
Yeah, and he stayed.
He didn't go.
And then now
there was constant talks and conversations.
Yeah.
For 18 months now with Trent, it's been the story. They called it football's worst kept secret.
But I think
he's going to go.
I would get onto Trent more. Look, two things on that. I don't know. I don't understand why fans. I understand why fans are disappointed or upset that they're not getting the money for Trent because he's 25. He's a world class, or quote, in that bracket, all that stuff, a world-class player. So you'd want some money for him. And they're saying it's Trent's a rat for not signing a contract. And if he signs and goes, it's a different story. Yeah. I just think, like, how could you not get onto Liverpool Football Club? It's good business. It's bad business from Liverpool and it's good business from Trent. Yeah, guys are saying this is a business and he should help us out and all this kind of stuff. But I don't think Trent should feel obligated to sign a contract just so that Liverpool can get 60 or 70 million, especially if it means that it could put the deal in jeopardy for Real Madrid, like the Real Madrid deal in jeopardy. You have to think of yourself in the career. If Trent was injured, or if anything had happened to Trent, Liverpool wouldn't think twice about getting rid of Trent.
And the Flo Perez ship probably only comes once, right?
Jude said it. The whole house shakes.
Yeah. Like if Trent says I'll sign the 1 year deal, or I'll sign
whatever
3-4 year deal, and then I'll go next year. Right, for money, Flo Perez, well, I'm not going to pay anything for you.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to come next year. So 100%, I agree with that.
I also do think that
even when it was Ozil and Alexis, I wasn't so much onto them.
Yeah.
As I was onto the club of like, how have you let this happen?
And that was what I was going to say is my second point.
And that's what I'm saying. We don't know too much about it because Liverpool fans seem to think that
he's turned down.
Offers have been made.
He's turned down. But that was going to be my second point was,
In which case, maybe things. I agree with your point. Still, the Real Madrid shit. Maybe once in a lifetime, he has to take that. But then there is all that thing of like, if you're a fan and you're invested in this, and Trent's actively turning down contract offers.
But that's the thing. It's not just Trent, bro. If it was just Trent, if it was the Mbappe saga, and it was just the only person who was ever going to go to Madrid from that team was Mbappe, yeah. Has Van Dijk been offered contracts? Has Salah's that come out and said, they're not giving me what I want. I'm turning down contracts. It makes me, for me, it adds credence to the Liverpool are doing internally, are doing bad business, either undervaluing their star players or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because if it was just Trent, if Van Dijk and Salah had signed on the dotted line, yeah, and that was done, wrapped up, and Trent is denying, Trent's holding out, Trent wants more money, Trent wants this, Trent wants that, I can see the hate for Trent and the but again, desire to get onto Trent. A lot of
Liverpool fans think that Van Dijk and Salah have signed on the dotted line, and they're just
Salah's not come out to say anything of the sort.
I'm just giving the Liverpool fan perspective.
We did the whole Jamie getting onto Salah, making things worse.
Yeah. Come out and tell us what you've been offered.
If it was that's nasty. Yeah. That's nasty.
And then we can make our own decision.
What decision is that? Yeah. What? But if that was the case, yeah, I can hear that of like what Trent's done and what Trent's done and what Trent's done. We don't know in it. We can only speculate. Yeah. Maybe they've offered him like okayish money. It's all going to be good money because they're all going to be millionaires, but it's like okayish money. And Trent's weighing it up like, I can get okay money, and fans are telling me that we're primed to win 4 Premier Leagues, but I don't really feel like that in the squad. In the squad, I don't feel like we're primed to win the next 4. Or I can go to Madrid and, as you say, 30 mil, win the intangibles and the opportunity and the Ballon d'Or and all the rest. And it's like, should Trent take a lesser contract in a harder gig? Yeah, and he wants to be called the best. Or take it's like when you put the 2 contracts on the table still, and I think for fans, Liverpool fans, you can put the most diehard Liverpool fan. They've never played for the club. Yeah, so that's why they have that love and emotion, all that kind of stuff. But I think once you're in it and you put 2 contracts on the table, one for 30 mil and one for maybe 20 mil, and you've got the 30 mil and guaranteed trophies, and even if you don't win the Ballon d'Or, you've got the trophies, and you've got a Champions League final semi-final performance guaranteed and all that kind of stuff. I just feel like, and it's easy for us to say because we're not Liverpool fans. It's not our player in that situation. But, and it's easy for me to say it now, but I wouldn't get onto Saka. I'd like to think, and for me in particular, because it's Madrid, if Trent was going to Bayern Munich, if Trent was going to PSG, if Trent was going to all these other clubs, I would be like, bro, I actually think Liverpool is right there with these guys and all that. But this is the biggest of banks. I put Real Madrid and Barcelona in a completely separate category to a lot of other football clubs around us.
Yeah.
And like, if you lose out your guy to that club, Bayern Munich's a massive team, yeah? We saw what Lewandowski did to get out of Bayern Munich to go to Barcelona.
Yeah.
I just feel like you got to take a step back, look at the pedigree of your club, look at who Trent's going to, the club that's coming after him, and just say, hey, look, like, this ain't the one for us. Yeah.
And also the rumours are that Liverpool actually offered Trent more than what Real Madrid are offering in terms of a wage and whatever. But I don't think that the primary reason, at least, anybody joins Madrid is for money.
Yeah.
Right? So, and that's the other thing of like, I wouldn't get onto Saka because I know it's not a money thing. If he goes to PSG, then those questions kind of arise, yeah? And it's like, well, why do you want to go there? And we're doing more than they are. But for Trent, I think, and this is where, as Arsenal fans, we compare it to the Saka thing, and we say that but I feel like Arsenal fans and Liverpool fans won't like this, but Arsenal fans are just very aware that like Madrid are
the biggest club
in stratosphere, like a different level, compared.
It's because we lost
compared to us.
We lost so many players to Barcelona. That's why I don't like Barcelona. We lost so many players to Barcelona growing up. Yeah, where it was just so obvious that
they can come and take our best.
We're a bit of a feeder club.
Agreed.
We're a bit of a feeder club to these guys.
But Liverpool fans, they won't accept that at all. And if they do, they won't accept it easily.
But and that's why I think it's interesting is because what happens now if another one goes, either Van Dijk or Salah? Are they going to get this visceral rat? You're a rat.
No,
you're this, you're that.
Liverpool fans have already said that if one of them goes,
thank you for your service.
It's all going to be fired at the board. it's all going to be fired at FSG.
So that's why I think it's not. That's why I think it's harsh on Trent, because he's made he's made potentially the same decision that a Van Dijk or a Salah has made. Why can't they sign a contract and after a year go for money or whatever? Even if it's Saudi, go for a couple mil to Saudi, whatever it is. Yeah, you're a pillar of this team. Like, I know Salah's not club captain, but if it feels as if they're both the captains of the club type stuff.
Trent is vice captain. and that's another thing from Liverpool fans, yeah, that they probably want us to mention. And I think you can change your mind in football. Like, you say things on a high and whatever. And Trent has said things in the past about, if I can spend my whole career at Liverpool, that's what I want to do. I would love nothing more. He said, but look, things change, times change, opinions change. That's completely calm. But for Liverpool fans, they might feel like they've been lied to.
No, if a Liverpool fan is upset about that, that's fair, because that's fair, isn't it? Like, when he said that,
it's a bit gassed. Like the RVP thing of like, I'm going to sign a new contract, and then a month later, the boy inside me screaming Man United. Like, bro, you didn't need to tell us that.
Exactly. Why have you playing with my emotions like that?
But I think those Trent things were like off Champions League wins and Premier League
I also
wins.
think, and this might be nasty to say, I also think that there is a huge element of Trent that doesn't want to be like Gerrard. Yeah. Like, and obviously
he's already not like Gerrard.
No, because he's won stuff. So we,
he's won not stuff. He's won a Premier League.
He's won a lot. Carabaos and FAs and all this kind of stuff.
Gerrard won those.
Yeah, he did
in the Premier League. Yeah,
but I was gonna say, I think
doesn't want to spend another 5 years at Liverpool and win one major trophy.
Yeah, and like, everybody loves Gerrard. He's revered by everyone. I think Gerrard is, as the older I've gotten, the more I appreciate. I used to think it was Lampard, Gerrard, Scholes. Now I'm on the Gerrard, Lampard, Scholes. Yeah. But I just think that Trent has seen how that played out, and obviously Gerrard is revered by Liverpool fans. And I think Trent is kind of like, maybe it's not worth it. Yes, I can maybe get another one major honor with Liverpool, and they'll love me forever, and I've stayed, and I've been loyal, and trophies, and maybe a statue, whatever it might be outside the stadium. But I genuinely don't think that is better than coming back to Liverpool with 3 Champions Leagues, and like the global fan will love Trent. As soon as he goes to Madrid and Spanish people can start seeing him and all that kind of stuff. I think and it's harsh because it's not that Gerrard should be a cautionary tale. Gerrard's had an incredible career. Gerrard's done that. He's won a lot of major trophies, and he's a club legend, and a lot of people should aspire to be Gerrard. Yeah, for sure. But I just think that there is an element, and maybe Gerrard's even had a word with him. Yeah, there's an element of it where it's like, you only have one footballing career. One of my biggest regrets, this could be Gerrard speaking, is that I never won the Premier League, or I never saw what it was like to be a part of another team, or a team 100%. That I thought was sort of matching. And it's not that it's Liverpool, like Trent above this Liverpool team, but a team that was matching my outputs and was matching my sort of what I was bringing to the table. So I think there was an element of like, your cautionary tale. Yes, these fans love you. Yes, these high fives and shirt sales and all that stuff is great. But you only have one footballing career, and you've already spoken about trying to win trophies and win the biggest trophies. So if you start turning down these contracts, like, you only have, when you look at the man in the mirror, that's who you're letting down.
Yeah.
That's who you're letting down. Rather than like, oh, I'm happy that mom's happy, and I'm happy that fans and the random guy outside the stadium's happy. But inside, that's how I was telling you with Harry Kane. This is obviously a separate thing, but like that when Bayern Munich made that offer and it was accepted, and it was all down to whether or not Harry wanted to go. I don't know how Harry Kane could have looked at himself in the mirror and said, I want to stay at Tottenham. I've said all of this about winning trophies. I've said all of this about wanting to play in Champions League and
team achievements
and all that kind of stuff. And now I have a chance to genuinely go on and do it, and I'm going to turn it down to be a Tottenham legend. I just feel like there comes to a point when you're a football player.
Liverpool fans won't appreciate that.
I know. But there comes to a point when you're a football player and you're looking at yourself in the mirror, and it's like, what do I want out of the game? What do I want? Not what do fans want?
From the way Trent's talking, it's almost as if he's
making decision about what he wants.
He's not really like on the team achievements thing.
Yeah.
It's almost like he wants his individual praise.
He wants his respect.
Which I don't think he gets in this country.
Yeah.
Partly because
of me. I start the agendas, it's true.
Right. and I've always said that a guy of that quality has to be in the England starting 11 no matter where he plays. But he might feel like if he goes to Spain, he goes to Real Madrid, he does well, he gets all of that stuff, and he's already talking about he would rather win the Ballon d'Or over like another Champions League or another Premier League or even a World Cup.
Yeah,
they offered him the World Cup in that situation. He said a Ballon d'Or. So it's almost like, well, if you want to go and get those individual achievements, like I've said, you're guaranteed the team trophies at Real Madrid. That's the best place you can be to go and win individual awards as well, because you're guaranteed those big trophies, right? If you want to win a Ballon d'Or, you have to go and win the Champions League.
And I think the worst thing, for Liverpool fans as well, is the Jude aspect of it all.
Yeah, the Jude Trent memes are hilarious, though. I'll give that to Liverpool fans. They are hilarious.
I think it's nasty work because Jude, who now has Champions Leagues and all of these perks, he came third in the Ballon d'Or last year, all that kind of stuff.
Well, that's something he'll have to deal with in the sense of, like, obviously they've all turned on him now and whatever, but they all used to defend Trent and say, "Oh, he's actually quite good at defending."
Yeah.
Fans. Trent could do no wrong. Yeah. Now, when he goes to Madrid, if he gets caught out of the back post 3-4 times,
they'll cuss him out too, for sure.
The Spanish press,
they'll cuss him out for sure,
and everything. That will be a new level of, like, my own club fans like disliking me and whatever. That's something that he'll have to adapt to if he doesn't play well.
He'll have to adapt to it, but just to your point, because he's been hated on for so long, he should probably adapt to it quicker than maybe others.
Yeah, agreed.
Like, he's like,
his defensive abilities have been hated on his whole career.
Always been questioned.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think it's gonna be as tough a job, bro, in Spain. I really don't.
Yeah. Look, I think he'll go and do well, but I've always rated him. So
I think he'll go and do well. I've always rated him as a player, but I've never thought he's like
a special footballer.
Not a special footballer, but like, for example, some people had him ahead of Dani Alves and Carvajal.
Yeah, well, now that he's going to
he'll have to do what they've done for Madrid and Barcelona.
But he's going to win at Madrid. We've said about how guaranteed it is.
We'll if he starts putting in not Carvajal performances, because the game will be different, but Carvajal, Carvajal's...
I'm confident I'm going to be on the right side. I'm glad he's making this move. I'm confident I'm going to be on the right side.
The Carvajal impact that he's had in the games, those games where it's like Carvajal's not scored or assisted, but he's
just locked up his man.
He's been solid. Whenever he needs to win a foul, he wins a foul.
Ones,
yeah. He needs to have that type of like consistency over the big games, the quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals, where it's like we don't worry about Trent the way we don't worry about.
That comes back to our point we made earlier. Like, this guy is a Champions League winning right back.
Yeah,
Premier League winning right
he's
back.
done it. He's done it. It's not new to him.
Whatever,
this level of football is not new to him for sure.
And he might be like actually influencing the game like
more. Yeah.
He could do
the difference is, I think it's entirely plausible that Trent could win a Ballon d'Or. There could be a Champions League stretch where
I think the Ballon d'Or thing's going to be tough.
It'll be tough but I think it's plausible. I don't think it's going to be,
because even if he does what he needs to do with Real Madrid and he does what he needs to do with England.
Yeah, there's Jude there's all these kind of guys.
Right.
But the only way I say it's plausible is if Trent is the guy in the quarterfinals, in the semi-finals, in the finals. It's a Trent long ball assist.
Yeah.
It's a Trent free kick. It's a Trent corner. Like, his imprint on the game, and bro, the gas. If it does go well at Madrid, revolutionize the right back position. Spain has never seen anything like all the stuff that I not cussing for in England, but
Marcelo and Roberto Carlos and
times 10. We've never seen anything like this from a fullback, his technical level and his security and all that stuff. Yeah. Trust me, Spanish football hasn't seen the long raking Trent switch, the off either foot, the shot
from a fullback
off either foot. Like, I do think that, and that's part of my whole why Trent has to go. Bro, if you go to another league and they really see what you're about week in, week out, you can only go up a level if you do well and you win the trophies. So
quickly on this, we'll finish up because we've spoken about this for a minute. 2 questions, yeah. 1, has he made the right decision?
Yes.
And 2, him leaving, I agree, I think he's made the right decision. 2, leaving on a free, does that matter?
No. He came on a free.
Okay, even if you're a Liverpool fan.
If you're a Liverpool fan, I get it, because you think that this player is worth, like, he's worth money, and should be worth money, but I don't think it should be Trent's fault or issue that he's leaving for a free. it should be a type of thing where Trent is always on a 5-year deal.
So if you're a Liverpool fan, are you vexed at the board?
I have to be vexed at the board. Same thing. It will be, and I'll kill Arsenal for this if Saliba doesn't go for 100 mil. Yeah, minimum type thing. If the player is that good and you want him that much and you know that he's coveted by other clubs, it is completely on you.
But then what if Saliba starts running down his contract?
If Saliba starts running down his contract and Arsenal have made it apparent that we've offered him 250 and 300 or whatever it is, then maybe it's a bit more on Saliba. Yeah. And that could be the case. That could legitimately be the case. But it still wouldn't. The thing is, like, there's a difference between, we should have been having final conversations. And I'll say this about Arsenal, yeah. If the minute we're 2 years away from a Saliba extension and Saliba's not really entertaining talks about extensions and not really saying anything about...
Well, we're coming up to that, isn't it? This summer's 2 years.
Well, Arsenal, you have to make a decision. Yeah. And I'll be annoyed.
But then what if he wants to go to Real Madrid and Flo Perez says, we'll wait 2 years?
Yeah, Arsenal have to sell him then. Arsenal have to say, well, he's going to a club now for 18 mil.
But Saliba's
for 100 mil.
I only want to go there.
Bro, we've accepted the bid and bro, we've packed your bags and you're not part of the squad. You're going to train with the under-9s. Like, if it gets to that level, whatever it takes to get 100 mil for that asset has to be done, because I think that's what Arsenal to do. I think Liverpool, there was a little bit of like, don't worry, it's all going to be fine. We'll sign in the end, or whatever happens has happened, for them to think it's going to come back around. If they really, truly thought that Trent was always going to go to Madrid, or if this was a fear factor, whatever it is, they should have told Madrid 2 years ago, bro, the fee is this. He wants to go to you, we'll accept 50, 60, 70, whatever it is, done. But letting him run it down, because that's what they've done. They've let him run it down. They haven't sold him last summer.
But I do think there's
you've said 18 months. This was in the works.
Like, Flo Perez didn't come in with a bid until January.
Yeah,
but we've known Flo Perez wanting Trent for 18 months, 2 years.
In hindsight, they should have taken the bid.
They probably would have won the league anyway. But in that sense, Flo Perez could be. We know what Flo Perez is like. It could be very adamant. Well, I'm just going to take this guy on a free. He's got 2 years left. I'll wait 2 years. He'll be 25. That's an even better age to get him. I'll take him on a free. And for 18 months, Flo Perez is telling Trent, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. Trent only wants to go there. It runs that. I can see how it happens.
How are Liverpool not aware of the situation and the way in which this train is heading? How have Liverpool in the boardroom and the guys who are up there who are looking at this said, worst case scenario is we let...
But if they are aware, you're saying force him to another club for
if this is business and this is what fans care about, and you want money and you want a return on your assets, that's what you have to do. Like, I wish it kind of worked out because Sanchez did nothing at United, and I love Sanchez, but I wish we had got money for Sanchez. Like, if it meant I saw 6 months less of Sanchez, but we got 30, 40, 50 mil for him and could have put that into 100%. The squad. I'm a fan, it's tough, but do that to get the money. Like, I don't think I can excuse, and I know Trent probably has turned down contracts for sure, but I don't think I can excuse the board. This was always the worst case scenario, and I don't know if they've really done enough to stop this from happening. Either they haven't offered him the contract that he wants, or he was always going to go to Madrid, and if that was always going to happen, you should have sold him earlier. You should have even have given Madrid, like, we'll give you the first offer rights, whatever it is, whatever it is. If not, you start telling PSG and you start telling Juventus and you start telling all these other clubs, yo, Trent's on the market, 50 mil. If you give me that, and you start telling Trent and Trent's agent, bro, either you sign this deal or I've got 50 mil for Juventus, you've got to go. And it's tough to do that to your local lad, but look at where we are. Look at where we are.
Agreed.
It's the same thing with Van Dijk and Salah. And I don't know how you can see the worst case scenario is your three best players leaving for free. And I don't know how they can let it even get close to that before someone steps up and makes a tough decision and say, yo, I love you, Van Dijk. I love you, Salah. I love you, Trent. I want you to stay. I think you're the best for the club, but we can't let you go for free. You've got to go now.
Yeah.
And make the player make a decision of, all right, if the Madrid dream has to happen now or I sign.
Yeah. Look, I think I agree with you ultimately, but I think there's...
And Arsenal do that with Saliba. I love Saliba. I'm telling you, I love Saliba. Bro, but if it's looking like Saliba's not going to sign...
Banish him to the under-9s, you said.
Sell him. If it's looking like he's not going to sign, don't let Saliba walk up this door for nothing.
We're talking about player power.
Yes, it's more in football.
I think there's player power of like Trent or Saliba might only want to leave Liverpool or Arsenal. Probably only want to leave Liverpool or Arsenal to go to Real Madrid. Yeah. There's not another club that Saliba's probably going to want to go to. Yeah. So there might be 50 million on the table from Juve that Arsenal have accepted, and then Saliba goes to agree personal terms, and
he fails to agree.
Saliba's agent's asking for 750 grand a week if he wants to go to Juve, right? Which is never going to happen. That kind of stuff could, and ultimately we don't know any of these nuances in the conversations, yeah. And that will probably come out later on as like this transfer to Real Madrid develops, and we can find out whether it's FSG who have just fucked up and not really, or if it's Trent who's just
turned down every contract. Really they've offered him 400k.
Bit of a nasty and just kind of, well, I'm not taking this, I'm not taking that, I'm not going here, I'm not going there.
But the reason I have to think it's FSG is because if you say it's not a money thing, if Liverpool have offered Trent the best contract they could offer him, maybe make him the second highest paid player at the club, whatever it is, and he's turned that down, alarm bells, bro. Yeah. Alarm bells in the club. This guy, we've offered him the best, but then he's not signing.
And I don't think FSG have done this, which is why I'm saying I ultimately agree with you. But then if FSG have then said, well, okay, so he's turned down our best offer, Juve or whoever it is want Trent for 50, 60 million, we'll accept that offer, and then Trent's just blocked it.
So, but that has to. So for me to kill Trent, that has to happen. There has to be.
But even then, would you kill Trent?
Like
when you know, the whole conversation's been where he wants the intangible.
Okay, I wouldn't kill Trent. Sorry, I wouldn't kill Trent. But as a Liverpool fan, or if I was like, I would understand Liverpool fans more. The rat, all that stuff that they're saying about him. If it was publicly made known that Liverpool have put Trent on the market, other clubs have put offers in, Liverpool have accepted those offers, and players, Fabrizio's come out and said Trent's.
But should that really matter? Like, I don't know if that was Saka, if that would change my opinion of it, because I know he wants to go to Real Madrid. That's the fundamental.
Ultimately, it wouldn't matter. But the whole thing is, Liverpool fans are getting onto Trent for how he's conducted himself throughout this whole
running down the contract.
They think that he is deliberately, and he could be deliberately running down his contract.
The whole thing is, he's running it down because he wants to go to this one place.
But Liverpool fans are acting as if, and maybe they're not, some of them are probably being sort of mature and well adjusted. They're acting as if there is no part to play yet of FSG. There's no part, like, you can't, as I said, alarm bells. 2 years ago, you gave Trent your best offer. 18 months ago, you gave Trent your best offer and you turned that down. Something should have changed drastically in the tone in which you were talking 100%. To Trent about, drastically, and publicly, how you were telling, subliminally, however you got that message across. You should have started to tell fans, we made him our best offer and he hasn't taken it. Yeah. And that's why we are where we are right now. And that's fine.
Yeah, I hear that.
And maybe it's shown in the doc or whatever it is, whatever. Yeah. But until we get that information, I don't think I can get onto Trent. Trent's just made a sound business decision, and it would be sound even if they offered him his best contract. Yeah, but it does for me change it slightly if it's like, all right, for sure it's not a money thing. For sure the club know it's not a money thing. He's always wanted Madrid, and we've done nothing to stop this happening. We've done nothing. I can't say nothing. They've offered him their best contract,
but like, what I'm
saying. You've not tried to like,
I think the difficulty comes when it is Real Madrid, and like we've said about Flo Perez. Flo Perez is tapped enough.
He's a gangster.
To just wait.
He's a gangster.
I'll just take him on the free.
It's a mafia thing,
right? So, but he'll tell you 2 years in advance. So let's say, for example, it's Saliba. Flo Perez has already spoken to Saliba and said, "Don't sign a new deal. In 2 years' time, when your contract's up and you're 25,
we'll come and grab you.
You'll be Los Blancos. We'll have the shirt for you, number 4, whatever you want to wear. Right? You'll come and play centre back. You'll be our best centre back. This is how I see the whole pitch. Yeah." Is Saliba? So Saliba's then going to go and turn down if he wants to go to Real Madrid. He's going to turn down the Arsenal contract offers. Andrea Berta.
I was going to say, Andrea, let us know.
They're aware of it. Maybe they let us know. They say, okay, so Saliba, he's not signing the new deal. He's up for sale. Bayern Munich come. Saliba says no. PSG come. Saliba says no. Barcelona come. Saliba says no. But he just wants to go there.
That's fine, because even fans can get on board with that then. Fans know what's going to happen 6 months from now. If that happens and Fabrizio's tweeted, Juventus, PSG, Bayern Munich have all made an offer for Saliba, Arsenal have accepted every offer, all down to the player, and for whatever reason it still doesn't materialize, then we can, as a fan, 6 months from now, accept, all right, Saliba's gone to Real Madrid for a free. I can start my mourning and grieving process and be fucked, all that kind of stuff.
But would you feel a type of way to Saliba if that's the situation?
Ultimately, no. But I would have more like disappointment or whatever in him, because truly, he's not fucked the club out of anything. He's made the best. As I've said, players, you have to look yourself in the eye and all that kind of stuff. But as an Arsenal fan, I would be like, oh, this hurts because, ultimately, the club haven't been able
to shake us.
Yeah, the club haven't been able to
we just have to get on board.
Exactly. The club haven't been able to get anything out of him monetarily. And
even though they've tried.
And then we're still going to lose him for a free, and he's going to go to Real Madrid and sort of win it all type thing. And it's tough to take, but I think it's a little bit different because it shows what he thinks of the club. Whereas, and maybe it's worse. Maybe it's worse if Trent was always giving Liverpool, I think, we can work something out. And he knows he's going to Madrid. He's, he's always telling the guys up top, I think the next one.
He's playing the game, innit? No doubt his agents are like, tell Liverpool we're interested, see what they put on the table.
Yeah, that's fair.
But look, that's enough on Trent. We spent almost an hour talking about that. So we'll go to MVPs and rookies of the week. My first MVP, I've got Miles Lewis-Skelly. Scored in his England debut on Friday. Shout out Thomas Tuchel as well. He won both of the games. It was a great moment to see Miles Lewis-Skelly score. And I've also got Ezri Konsa on the England side of things, because Ezri Konsa had 2 monster classes.
I've got, obviously, shout out to Miles Lewis-Skelly. We have to appreciate that. I've got Mikel Merino.
Yep.
Turn the 6 upside down.
It's a 9 now.
It's a 9 now. I've got Nico and Lamau. Maybe more so Lamau, because Nico played well, don't get me wrong, but
the goal is special.
Just everything all round. Just like you genuinely, with Lamine Yamal, feel like when the ball's at his feet, like something could happen here. Almost every time, like he just could beat 3 guys. He could put it top bin.
He's a bit like Ethan in that sense.
But I've got a lot of time for his sort of like edge of the seatness. How he has you at the 100%. Edge of the seat. I'll give an MVP to somebody else.
I've got Scaloni.
Yeah.
I don't know what's Scaloni. I don't know his managerial background, his managerial history. I don't know if he's coming like Ursula from the Argentina 2nd division, but they moved to Brazil yesterday. They absolutely moved to them.
That meme of Scaloni crying when he's on the bench, still, it always kills me. There was somebody else I was going to give
the Brazil defense without Gabriel looks,
of course, shaky.
Not just shaky.
They need to.
Murillo came in. Then.
This is actually one of the first times I'm like, all right, Marquinhos, because I know guys have been saying Marquinhos for Brazil is not that guy.
Yeah.
I know that's been a thing, but I've always kind of thought maybe that we're harsh on Marquinhos. But now I'm like, bro, I think unless there is a Gabriel to hold Marquinhos' hand, I think Brazil could concede however many.
Yeah.
Any other MVPs?
That's it from me.
Michael Elise.
Yeah. Scored a nice goal.
I just think he's balling for club and country now. He's done the things that, I don't know, you'd expect him to do, so maybe it shouldn't be, but he's gone to be a starter for Bayern Munich, and he's just now gone to be a starter for France. And I respect that, man. I think there was some question marks from certain people in my friendship group about his talent, and now here he is. My rookies,
I've got Brazil.
I've got Brazil.
That Argentina game. And I've got Silvinho, the Albanian manager, because I have it on good record from my sources that he was in tape after Albania lost to England on Friday, behaving unmanager-like. I have that on good record from my sources, so I'm going to give Silvinho a rookie.
I can't think of anybody else.
Ben Simmons.
Oh, that
clip is horrible. I don't know how.
I'm telling you,
when you watch that clip, I don't know how Ben Simmons made it.
Me and you are better players than Ben
yeah,
Simmons.
genuinely.
I think we could get legitimate buckets in the league.
he does the behind the back dribble. He almost falls over. He goes to get it, but it's just awful. It's just awful.
Yeah, I think I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. All right, cool. Thank you guys for watching this. Let us know your opinions on the Trent thing. If you got any Liverpool fans watching this, please let us know your thoughts. Like, why is he getting so much hate? Try and let us know.
Is there a point that we've missed? Is there something that we've spoken about?
Yeah.
That we've not, like, there's a part from a Liverpool fan, a part of the context that we've missed out entirely.
Yeah.
As to why you're so angry at him, or as to why you...
We've tried to mention everything, even like comments that Trent's made before that maybe they. But yeah, any Liverpool fan watching this, please let us know. And if you're not a Liverpool fan, let us know if you think he made the right decision. If you think he should go to Real Madrid, or if he should stay. But ultimately, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week. Peace.